Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're having a magical day. Thanks for taking the time to support the channel. Today is a wacky video. Oh my god. For the first time ever in history, a Magic the Gathering deck has been copyrighted. Oh my lord. What does this mean? Who gone and done it? And of course, how's that going to affect everyone within the community, the player base, the content creators, and even potentially the company, right? So we're going to discuss all of these things, give our opinion on it in today's video. And of course, I'm really interested in what everyone else thinks, right? This is brand new. I just hit the newsstand, if you will. And, man, I don't know how to really digest this. So if anybody, has a good grasp on these things, let us know in the comments, and I'd love to start a discussion with you. So with that being said, the first ever Magic the Gathering deck has been copyrighted. What does that mean? We're going to break it down in today's video. Make sure to like the video to support the channel. Check out that link tree. Maybe join the Discord, support through the Patreon, lots of cool things going on. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, so first up, we have the original article by Cory Doctorow on their blog. And again, for the first time in history, we have a Magic the Gathering deck called Angels and Demons copyrighted. Very interesting. It is a vintage deck. It seems to be non-competitive. So really, really interesting, right? That something that probably will never be used has been copyrighted. It seems potentially like it's done on purpose to not stir up too much controversy, in my opinion, right? That way it slips through, and now there's been a precedence set in which these decks are allowed to be copyrighted, right? So moving forward, that's my initial opinion right out of the gate. We got a big old article. Link's going to be in the description if you want to comb through it. A couple things that caught my mind, copyright rewards creativity, not effort. That seems a little contradictory to me because the two are entwined. Personally, as someone who tries to be creative every day, it's a lot of effort as well. And then, going through this, it talks about how this individual, Robert Hovden, physics professor with a history of provocative copyright projects that highlight some of the internal contradictions and bizarre results of the copyrights applications, right? Guy seems to be looking to get into it. With that being said, the last situation was a nanoscale art exhibit testing the limits of copyright. And again, if you want to read into this case before this one, by all means, check it out and let us know what you guys think. It talks about, owning culture, or I guess apparently Robert has said, owning culture and people's participation in culture through copyright is a good thing. It's all about owning culture and people's participation in culture through copyright. Woof. All right, so that's interesting as well. And then, it's going to recommend a whole bunch of different cases for you to look into. And again, very interesting, but I would personally just rather, if it got too serious, maybe hire a lawyer to consult me, because I'm not going to pretend to be a law professional and, comb through these cases and morally make my own decision, because I already have until someone tells me otherwise. And with that being said, my decision is that it is an open source community. Individuals like myself, all of the other content creators are doing this for the betterment of the community, right? If we can spark original thought in those watching us and they can take that forth in themselves and build a deck, that's great, right? We're really here, in my opinion, to help one another, to, propagate the community and the game forward in the, healthiest possible way. And that's why, I'm making new decks every day. That's why I'm sharing them out to you guys every day. Not only myself, but other people in different formats, in different ways. And we're all different pilots, right? We're all different, not producers, but, people who presenters. people who present. You know what I mean? We each have, like, no one else is going to mess that sentence up like me. You know what I mean? So you get a unique flavor with the different content creators. And so here's where some of the questions come into play. And I actually am going to go out of my way to reference another content creator, Magic the Gathering Arena Zone, right? This is an amazing website for people looking for arena-based resources, including this article, right? Like, I make videos, they make articles. So, you know, they kind of go through it as well. I'm also going to include this in the description for you guys if you want to read their opinions as well, because I think it's really important for us as a community to all be sharing our opinions on this issue as it is fresh hot, and you know, collectively kind of banding together, I think, to, you know what, say that this is okay, everybody, don't worry. You know, like, personally, all of the decks I create will be copyright free. I'm never going to copyright one of my decks. That, in my opinion, seems absolutely absurd. I am doing it for the betterment of the community. I don't need to be locking it down, making it more stringent, you know, trying to restrict other people's experiences through the game. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm the only one allowed that experience, right? Seems kind of silly to me, but hey, it is what it is. And, you know, it talks about net decking be a large part of what they do here, and it's a large part of what I do too. Like, I basically rely on the community to come to me to grab my decks, and, you know, that's net decking, but it's fine. Do you know what? That's how I personally learned how to become a better deck builder. I net decked some of the top decks, the tournament decks, you know, the top 6 or the top 8, whatever it was, you know, looking at them, understanding, okay, well, look at these ratios of, you know, low mana value creatures to removal in an aggro deck, and the creature to removal, and, you know, you start to key these patterns together, and you learn how the specific archetypes do build out, and ones that are successful versus ones that aren't, and you can apply those principles, and it's just like a thing that keeps building, right? And you need to see these things, right? You need to be involved with them, and you need to see, like, to look at a list and just be like, oh yes, I completely understand it perfectly. No, it's not how it works. You have to play it in the meta. You have to understand it. You feel those interactions, because there's a billion interactions, right? They're all going to be different. And then you do begin to understand, which is great. And then, you know, it's just kind of going through the article where it's talking about owning a deck list, who has rights to it, who can use it, and, you know, what are the consequences of that. So, you know, it's pretty cool. Check out the article, and you know, let me know how you guys feel on it. Obviously, you know, this is going to be a hot topic. Everybody's going to be, you know, discussing it, sharing their opinions. And I really recommend to see what everybody has to say, right? Take the temperature of the entire community, because in my opinion, there may be a red herring. It'd be awesome if his last name was Herring. No, I'm just kidding. Which is totally fine. You know, this gentleman's obviously very successful. So, you know, I don't want to tread on any water I shouldn't be, but, you know, it's definitely not the course of action that I personally would be taking. I don't really foresee any other content creators taking this action either. However, it does raise a red flag potentially as someone who does, you know, this for their business. You know, I make deck lists to put out for you guys every day. Now, I feel myself pretty lucky because I don't really net deck at all. You know what I mean? I'm not grabbing other people's lists. You know, I may see a list in the meta, get pummeled by it while I'm climbing to Mythic or something, and then, you know, try to recreate a list similar to that on my own. And anybody who's been watching my channel knows this, that it just is what it is. I'm doing my thing. I open up the client. I make a deck. I try to improve one of the older decks that I've made. And whenever I say that, you know, it even just feels so cringe. And other people think it's cringe too, like my deck. Yes, I get it. I've created it, but it's... So that's just it, is you can own specifics, I believe, is the copyright thing, but not overall ideas, which is awkward. Even though the deck is called Angels and Demons, you would still, in my opinion, be able to build an Angels and Demons deck, because that is an idea. It is what the work is based off of, and you can't own an idea that exists within the deck or in the game. For example, second cast is a mechanic within the game, therefore an idea of decks to be built around. You cannot own a second cast deck, but you could own the copyright at least to a specific set of cards that make up a second cast deck. As far as my understanding, that's how it goes. But again, I just personally find it irrelevant. It doesn't matter. No one is going to actually seriously do this. And with that being said, you know, as a creator, it actually doesn't really threaten me because, like I said, I'm the one making the decks. There's dates on all of my decks. I'm pretty sure I could get out of, and personally, I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to some lawyers, right? I'm pretty sure, though, speculatively speaking, that I could get out of it just based on dates and timestamps on my content, right? You make a deck, it goes into Aether Hub, it gets pushed onto YouTube. That's dated, right? That list has been cemented in time. It's like, yes, you may have copyrighted this, but I had done it first, so I should be exempt for your copyright. Get out of here. That's just how I see it. And again, I've not dug too deeply into it. You know, I've not read all of the recommended works that they're telling us to get through, right? There's like lots of different articles on patents and, you know, copyright that they're recommending us take a look at. But that's going to be something that, you know, I just let simmer. I'm not worried about it personally as a content creator. I don't think other content creators should be worried about it personally. If you are net decking and making content of those decks, I still don't think you should be worried, even though that's something I'm not doing. It could be a big deal. You know, fear is often a big deal, but I just don't think it's relevant. Wait until, you know, we see some cases come through. Wait until, you know, some of the top meta decks get copyrighted, if they even do, and how those cases unfold. And at the very least, you know, it makes great content for the channel. We can cover these cases. I love a good law show, right? With that being said, you guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Really interested in what everybody thinks here. And of course, I hope you all have a magical day. We'll see you soon in the next.